Boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Magic News with Magic Ridge. Today is the, fourth set of spoilers for Modern Horizons 2. It's about 5 p.m. Eastern Time. They are trickling in the spoilers, so I don't want to wait any longer to make a video, so we are going to make a video. So first up, we have Young Necromancer. It costs 4 mana of any color and a black mana, 5cc. When it enters the battlefield, you may exile 2 cards from your graveyard. When you do, return target creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield. And it is a 2/3. Sorry if I missed some information like creature type. This creature appears to be in... Man, I don't even want to say. Could be Mandarin. It doesn't even look like Chinese or Japanese. Looks like a different dialect, personally. But anyway, next up, we have Patriarchs Bidding. So, this is going to be a sorcery. 3 mana of any color and a black mana 5cc. So each player chooses a creature type. Each player returns all creature cards of that type chosen this way from their graveyard to the battlefield. Oh, okay. So I didn't even know what this was because I just glanced over the spoilers. So that's cool. Patriarchs Bidding. That's actually quite a high dollar card. So it's cool to see a reprint on that. Nice. Next up, we have some sort of camel. Steel camel, to be exact. It is 3 mana of any color, 3cc, creature type camel, I'm guessing, 2/2. When it enters the battlefield tapped, with 2 +1/+1 counters on it. It does not untap during your untap step as long as it has a +1/+1 counter on it. At the beginning of your upkeep, you may move a +1/+1 counter from the camel, I'm guessing, to target creature you control. Not super psyched about that one. It is what it is. It's a cool camel, though, I guess. Next up, we have something called the Extruder. For 4 mana of any color, 4cc, artifact creature type Juggernaut. This creature has Echo 4. For those of you that are not familiar with Echo, at the beginning of your upkeep, if this came under your control since the beginning of your last upkeep, sacrifice it unless you pay its Echo cost. So you must pay the cost twice. Or sack it. And you can sacrifice an artifact to put a +1/+1 counter on target creature. And this Juggernaut is a 4/3. Pretty cool. Artwork's pretty rad. Next up, this one I'm kind of psyched on. I've never played a Black Lotus in Commander, that's for sure. So we have Garth, One Eye. He costs Wooburg, so 5cc, 1 of every color, legendary creature, human wizard. He's a 5/5. You can tap him to choose a card name that hasn't been chosen from among Disenchant, Brain Geyser, Terror, Shivan Dragon, Regrowth, and Black Lotus. Create a copy of the card with the chosen name. You may cast the copy. You still pay its costs. A humble appearance belies a master's skill. So yeah, maybe I'll make this. I don't know. I've never cast a Black Lotus before. That seems cool. Wonder if we're going to get like a Black Lotus token with this set for this guy, you know what I'm saying? Probably not. They don't say they're tokens, so you just make copies of them. So we'll see. Maybe they'll have copies of the Regrowth, etc. So that one's pretty cool. I'm into it. I dig it. Next up, we have a Planeswalker. We have Grist, or Grist, depends on how you want to say it, the Hunger Tide. So, he's a legendary Planeswalker Grist. He has 3 loyalty abilities. As long as, I believe this is, static. So he has a static ability. As long as Grist the Hunger Tide isn't on the battlefield, It's a 1/1 insect creature in addition to its other types. Its +1 is create a 1/1 black and green insect creature token, then mill a card. If an insect card was milled this way, put a loyalty counter on Grist and repeat the process. Very cool. His -2 is you may sacrifice a creature. When you do, destroy target creature or planeswalker. His -5 is each opponent loses life equal to the number of creature cards in your graveyard. That one could be cool for mass graveyard type decks. I have a spirit deck that fills up the graveyard, but does not have green in it, so very unlikely. I kind of like that. You know what I mean? He's pretty cool. I'm not sure what's all over his body. Maybe those are insects. I can't really tell. This artwork is a little fuzzy for the spoiler. But I do like the skeletal-is appearance. Next up, we have Priest of Fell Rites. Its mana cost is a plains and a swamp, 2/CC, creature type human warlock. She is a 2/2. You can tap her to pay 3 life, sacrifice Priest of Fell Rites, return target creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield, activate only as a sorcery. She also has Unearth for 3 mana of any color and a plains swamp, so 5 mana total. Return this card from your graveyard to the battlefield. It gains haste. Exile it at the beginning of your next end step. Or if it would leave the battlefield, unearth only as a sorcery. So that is what Unearth is. Like I said before, I don't know if I mentioned she is a 2/2. This is pretty cool as well. Gosh, I'm pretty much only hyped on that the one reprint for the graveyard card there. But anyhow, next up we have Eve Progenitor Ooze. It costs 2 mana of any color and a forest, 5/CC. Creature legend Ooze, I guess. This creature has Storm, it looks like. Ave Progenitor Ooze is not legendary if it's a token. Okay. And it enters the battlefield with a +1/+1 counter on it for each Ooze you control. So it looks like Ooze is getting a little love. So anybody been wanting to make some Ooze commander decks, look out! Because we've got Progenitor Ooze legend on the way. Next up, we have Eula, Queen Among Bears. It's nice to see this old school border. I have yet to make my Bernstein Bears EDH deck. I'm planning on actually making this as a commander at some point. Just kind of slowly picking up staples for it. It's just going to be a simple mono green bear theme deck with like some combat tricks as its like secondary theme. So anyway, we have Eula, Queen Among Bears. 1 mana of any color and a forest, 2/CC, legendary creature type bear. She is a 2/2. Whenever another bear enters the battlefield under your control, choose 1. Put 2 +1/+1 counters on target bear, or target bear you control fights target creature you don't control. Very cool, very cool. Pretty hyped on this one as well. Just nice to see the old border. A lot of the older bears are old bordered as well, because they're old. Next up, we have Kitchen Imp. 3 mana of any color in a swamp, 4/CC, creature type imp. It is a 2/2 with flying and haste. Also has madness, 1 black mana. If you discard this card, discard it into exile. When you do, cast it for its madness cost, or put it into your graveyard. Pretty cool little common. I like the eyeballs in the artwork. Very nice. Looks like it's doing a lot of messing with some food. I guess that is a kitchen imp. Next up, we have Zabaz, the Glimmer Wasp. 1 mana of any color, 1/CC, legendary artifact creature insect. It is a 0/0. It has modular 1. If a modular triggered ability would put one or more +1/+1 counters on a creature you control. That many +1/+1 counters +1. So you're gonna add 1 to it, basically. So that many +1/+1 counters are put on it instead. You can pay 1 red mana to destroy target artifact you control. That's interesting. I guess for the modular effect, you can move the counters around, I believe. And you could pay white mana for Zabaz, the Glimmer Wasp, gains flying until end of turn. That's pretty cool. So we got like it looks like we have a modular commander. I don't know if we already had one, but we have another modular creature to add to the modulars. So yeah, not super hyped about it personally, but I do like some of the older modular artworks and stuff like that. So who knows? Who knows? Next up, we have Chef's Kiss. 1 mana of any color in a mountain 3/CC instant speed. Gain control of target spell that targets only a single permanent or player. Copy it, then reselect the targets at random for the spell and the copy. The new targets can't be you or a permanent you control. Okay. Something a little different. Next up, we have Mog Salvage. It costs 2 mana of any color in a mountain 3/CC. It is a instant. So if an opponent controls an island and you control a mountain, you may cast the spell without paying its mana cost. Destroy target artifact. Seems something that could actually be used in Modern, if it's not already used in Modern. Cool. And we have another thing that you can cast without paying its mana cost. I really like that. Power creep. You know what I'm saying? Next up, and final spoiler of the night, the evening, we have Tribute Mage. 2 mana of any color in an island, 3/CC, creature type human wizard. She is a 2/2. When Tribute Mage enters the battlefield, you may search your library for an artifact card with mana value 2. Reveal that card, put it in your hand, then shuffle. So that would fetch a Grim Monolith. It's the only thing I can kind of think of right now. Could also fetch a couple other mana rocks. But yeah, we got the old school border. Pretty freaking awesome. I want to thank you for watching today's spoilers. I'll definitely be back tomorrow. If you're interested in EDH gameplay, go ahead and check out Commander Wars EDH. And if you want to check out some of my other stuff, I have some Commander deck techs you can go ahead and check out. I've got box openings, whatever you fancy. I want to thank you for coming out. Hope you have a wonderful evening, and I'll catch y'all tomorrow.